The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and The Tech Insider, David White.
Good day, fellow traders and traderettes. It is Monday, June 6th, and of course, D-Day. We've got if you're watching Tiger TV, we got a picture of Normandy, and probably within a few hours of that morning when they actually came on the beach. I think that they were looking for up to 75,000 casualties in the first day. Did much better. I think it ended up being about a tenth of that, with 2,500 dead. I guess you don't like to see anybody die, but the predictions were extremely higher. There was a gentleman on TV today talking about risk management and a lot of things that Eisenhower did, but he kept planning contingencies to make sure if something did fail, there was some way to get back in and save his men and put the offensive back on. But mostly it was a lot of logistics that he wanted to make sure that the materials, not only the men, but the materials to fight the war were going to be there no matter what for at least a few first few months. And, I guess the rest is history. You had, I guess a lot of films are kind of cheesy on this. I think probably the best part of the best war movie I've ever seen is not so much a movie, but it's the Band of Brothers, the Ambrose book, I guess, that they did. But probably the best thing, it seemed the more realistic of the bunch. All the problems that soldiers had. But I don't know. I think we had somebody in the den, I think it was Nancy, said that her dad was a paratrooper in there, and he's now 90 years old. But I don't know. Just when you think how bad things were back then. And relatively, today, we don't have that much to worry about. So it is. He's a pilot. Okay, we'll let that in. But anyway, we've got a market that's up fairly extensively, but just a little over 3 billion shares, so we're going to be kind of light on this pop. Not unexpected that we were going to get a little pop out of here. I was hoping for some kind of volume. I'd like to be bullish on this. 1309 on the S&P, up about 24 points. We're going to be watching this through the end of the day, but I'd like to see a lot more with this kind of short covering. Normally you see a lot more volume on these short covering spikes. Really just not seeing that. It's kind of meandered around from about 1305 to 1310. And, just really haven't seen that kind of volume. We'll have to see how that actually comes back in. That was kind of it. The funny thing is Nancy's talking about her dad flying a C-47 and the DC-3 being the same. And that's true. My dad finished his career flying probably one of those same C-47s in Vietnam. So a little different, but it's kind of interesting. We got a lot of news today, although it's probably not moving the market as far as you think. Yum came out today saying that their promotion for Taco Bell and the Dorito flavored taco is the most successful promotion they've ever had in their since they've been in business, by a factor, I think, of 25%. So it's been pretty good. Yum owns Pizza Hut, KFC, A&W, Captain D's, and has partial ownership of Baskin Robbins that I did not know about. But now it makes sense when I've seen Baskin Robbins on the side of KFC or one of these other Pizza Huts or something. It kind of makes a little more sense. But what they're coming out today now is saying is that they're going after Chipotle Grill with an upscale menu. I don't know. I'm still worried about the mystery meat in the current menu they have. But apparently they are going to go upstream and start catering to a little higher level product than they've had before, mostly on the success of McDonald's going up in higher level coffees and some of the other stuff that they're actually making a lot of money off of. So kind of following in the footsteps of McDonald's and some of these other folks going after higher priced food items or more luxury priced food items. Taco Bell is going to go after CMG at least a little bit. I wonder what kind of, if they could actually even get that. That seems like two really different experiences to me. A map came out today with the states that are going to have balances at the end of the year that are not in financial straits, and kind of interesting. Of course, for the coasts, New Jersey and Delaware, New York actually going to have a budget surplus. Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Oregon. So kind of, and Alaska and Hawaii both. So we can continue to see that most of the budget deficits in the states are going to be on the coasts and a few countries. I think Missouri and Kansas can have minor deficits, so it's not that bad. Indiana also minor deficits, but we're going to have to watch those. I know California is probably the worst off, and they're doing about as much as Europe right now to solve their fiscal problems. Thinking Slow and Fast. I've probably mentioned this book a few times. It's a great book by Daniel Kahneman. He's like, I think he's got to be 80, 82 years old now, or even older. He is a professor, and I think it's at Harvard or Princeton. But he wrote a best-selling book called Thinking Slow and Fast. I kind of recommend it to those people, especially traders. It's not about trading, but it is about thinking and making snap decisions, and how anchoring and behavioral economics and prospect theory and overconfidence and loss aversion and anchoring and mental accounting actually work to have you come up with your ideas. And probably a mental floss would be a great way to think about it. But yesterday he did get a Nobel Prize for his work on what ended up being Thinking Slow and Fast. So a great book out there if people want to look on it. Okay. LinkedIn, about 6.5 million encrypted passwords were dumped onto a Russian hacker forum last night from LinkedIn. If you do have a LinkedIn account, probably need to go right in there and change your password immediately if you haven't already. They have been sending out emails for those people that have got them. Now, since they're encrypted, most people are thinking, oh, well, it's no big deal. 90% of all passwords will come down to 200 words. And in fact, I think some 80% of them come in 50 words in English. So what you find out is to decrypt it, especially if you have 6.5 million encrypted emails, you pretty much put it up against a rainbow cipher that will create those keys, and then you start looking for them in those encrypted passwords. Probably not going to take more than a few days to actually decrypt those and find the keys to almost all of them. So within a couple of days, probably going to find out that 6.5 million people all have their passwords out there in Russian hacker forums. I don't know if LinkedIn's going to do that much good, but again, remember, a lot of those accounts from LinkedIn are businessmen, and they do pay to get various things from LinkedIn. So probably a pretty big score for those Russian hackers. Nuance Communications, the people that do Siri, do Dragon speaking, have a new product out there called Dragon ID. This one's a little bit different. Instead of telling you where to go for your coffee, it will unlock and lock your smartphone. They're actually just rolling this out. It's going to be, I think, for Apple to begin with, shortly going to be out for Android also. But this one they may be making a little bit more money on than Siri. But it certainly looks going like it's going to be really interesting. The slide thing with the thumb to unlock's kind of interesting, but be kind of neat to just be able to talk to it and it automatically know your voice and unlock your device and maybe then say, call so-and-so. Maybe you don't even have to touch your smartphone anymore. You can just leave it next to you in the seat in the car while you're driving down the road. But kind of an interesting technology. They've been out showing that today. Ray Bradbury died last night. Probably a lot of inspiration for the technology that we have here today. Fahrenheit 451, of course, the temperature at which paper burns, which is one of the more scary novels I read early on in my life. Of course, he had other ones like the Martian Chronicles, kind of the dweeby version of science fiction. And the one that probably made me sure that I never wanted to have a tattoo, The Illustrated Man. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I see everybody with tattoos now, and all I can think of is those National Geographic magazines my grandmother came up with Africans and all their tattoos. And The Illustrated Man, that thing creeped me out. I'll never be able to get a tattoo. But Ray Bradbury, a lot of the things that we think about and see today were in his science fiction novels, like Asimov, a guy that really predicted somewhat the future out there. If you think that China doesn't have any problems, Foxconn workers last night rioted. Of course, they make all the Apple products that come here. And according to the Taiwan-based Wana China Times, apparently they have security guards, pretty tight security at these places. And one guy was stealing somebody's smartphone, but the security guards wouldn't let anybody go after him, and soon caused a small riot, and 1,000 workers were up all night throwing trash bins, chairs, pots, bottles out the windows of this place on the security guards. So, it's not always as smooth and, how can I say that, compliant as everybody thinks that China is. They still have a lot of uprisings out there when people get ticked off. In this case, apparently the security guards were getting a kickback from the thief. And I think that there's probably going to be a little more hell to pay here shortly. But things don't go always in China as you think they will. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what today is also, which is IPv, the V6 official rollout day, and how the Internet actually has turned the corner.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pezzavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. you take a hands-on approach to managing your investments. And whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Stock market corrections are the number one reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results, and I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock markets. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com to order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And, anyway, IPv6, we talked about it some last year. We've had kind of some ups and downs, but as far as I can tell, a lot of the money that still needs to be spent to roll out these networks still needs to be spent. But what we have is that most of the major Internet users or companies, let me put it that way, have actually flipped the switch and are now 24/7 for the rest of their lives, IPv6. And just a short description of it. A lot of people, if you watched older movies, they used to say, we had, just like 4 digits for a phone number. Then it went to 7 digits, and then you had area codes. And that's basically what it is. As they continue moving along, needed more and more numbers for the telephone system. The exact same thing has happened to the Internet. Basically, IPv6 is going to give enough Internet addresses for conceivably the next 100 years. I can't really think that we're going to outlive it, but of course, most people could probably thought that there was no way we're going to outrun the current Internet capabilities now. There's a lot of other things that are embedded in IPv6 for mobile devices, and I think over the next couple of years, we're going to start seeing a lot of those things make their way into common use. Right now, they're, I would say, uncommon use. But Akamai, AT&T, Cisco, Comcast, D-Link, Facebook, Free Telecom, Google, Internode, KKID, Limelight, Bing, Microsoft, Time Warner, Yahoo, and in fact, why it's not on here, it's kind of interesting, but Verizon's already on there because I've got them and I know, but they've already got it. But continue watching because I suspect that one day we are going to run out of internet addresses. People are already buying up the old ones to make sure that they continue to be able to run the old technologies. But one day that's going to actually hit the tipping point and actually be a big deal. What else say going on out here today? Movers, this is earlier, so I haven't taken a look at the prices lately. Iron Mountain, IRM, was up almost 10%. They're talking about turning themselves into a state investment trust. I suspect that the tax implications are going to really drive the reason for them going into an investment trust. First Solar, these are kind of a lot of these that are just been going down for so long that they're popping up on short covering. Up about 8%. FSLR, of course, beaten like a redheaded stepchild for just about forever now. Bank of America was up 7.5% earlier, almost 8% on the day. Again, a lot of these banks pop. And Chesapeake Energy up 6.1%. Another one that just been hated. I suspect that they've been in talks to sell its pipelines for about $4 billion. So maybe they'll have a little bit more cash to throw away on the next CEO. Pulte Group, the home manufacturer, up about 6.6 on some short covering and a Credit Suisse upgrade. So kind of the big ones out there. I think one of the mattress companies actually was another one that moved real big, but I can't. Tempur-Pedic. Maybe I'll have a chance to actually. Tempur-Pedic, huh? P-I-D-I-C. Maybe I can find it. I've got to be able to spell it correctly, and I can't right off the bat. Not with this keyboard. Google came out today. There's been some discussion about Apple on the 14th, pushing out some new products. One of those is highly anticipated to be Apple Maps. For their product, about 30% of the data that goes across to iPhones has to do with Google Maps to some extent. Apple's already said that they're going to roll out their own mapping system. Google Maps showed today a new 3D terrestrial mapping system, and I think that why they didn't say it looked like it was going from about 8 meter resolution down to about 3 meter resolution, which is going to be about as good as they had 15 years ago for the CIA and the NSA. So it's going to not only be much, much crisper with the new satellite systems that they have up there, but they're going to roll this thing out. The 3D is going to be, I saw some pictures of it earlier, going to be very spectacular. So if you like Google 3D maps and being able to zoom over the terrestrial Earth, very, very cool stuff, but there's a lot of money to be made on those mapping systems, and Google's going to fight to keep that business away from Apple. We'll be back in just a second. You can give me a call, 877-927-6648.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by Direction Shares. To learn more about technical tools for the sophisticated active investor, hit the Direction Shares banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, market still 1308 on the S&Ps and volume 3.3 billion shares. So you got about 30 minutes left, but projects probably to about maybe 3.8 billion shares for today, which is not a whole lot. You'd probably like to see, even if this is just a short squeeze, 4.5 billion shares to really get us going. But these light markets, light volume markets, have come back, and they seem to come back to stay. We're seeing a few breakouts in the markets today, but one of the ones that is the disaster du jour is Tempur-Pedic International. TPX is the symbol on it. It's off almost 50% today, down $21 and change. They came out and made an announcement. Actually, this is one that didn't look too bad when you really look at the volume. Like yesterday, volume was about 2 million shares. It had gone in just slightly lower than the last big major low, which was October 4th. It's blown back down and through the previous extended low, which was at $25.56. I don't even know where this thing could stop now because it actually goes, I mean, go back even maybe 4 years or something here and take a look at this thing. But, I mean, it goes down to like $10, and I wonder if it's going to go back all the way back down there. It's kind of hard to think that maybe this thing won't pop back up, but, oh, boy. Basically, they're saying, they came out and said last night that what they had going on is with those foam mattresses that everybody's copying them and really cutting down on what they can charge for their product. So once having a product out there, it kind of makes me think of kind of like an iPhone out there, or the iPod. You can get that money for a while, but how long can you actually hang on for it? When you look at this thing, it wasn't too long ago. This thing was printing at $87.43, and that was on just April 18th. I figured this thing was coming back a little bit, but boy, $87.43 down to $21. Quite the move out here, and don't think it's even quite done yet. The way this thing looks, it could drive itself right down in $10 just on raising margins, things like that. Hopefully this is all done. But one of the uglier ones out there, the stocks we've been watching here on the show, trying to get set up, are things like Alcoa. We wanted to see how well it was doing. Pretty good indication that it had made a bottom. And we'd been talking about making a pop here in the markets, or a little bounce. But the October 4th low on Alcoa, $8.45 on October 4th, 49 million shares. It got down to $8.21, of course, on about half the volume. Pretty good 80% chance this thing's going to go headed the other way, at least for a while, when you get into a low like that on half the volume. Tried to get into it a nickel higher on December 28th with 35 million shares, but I like to see those 25 million tests. And probably not a great trade and a lot of money in there, but probably a good indication that some of these markets and some of the sectors had made lows already. Let's see what else we have going on here. Adtran, Associated Realty. For some reason, thought I had all these. 605 had to be today. I'll see if I have any. Remember these stocks. Altera. Altera still has a little ways to go. ALTR. I've talked a lot of times about Altera and Xilinx being the canary in the coal mine. This is one of the reasons I suspect that we still have one more leg to go and one washout, especially in the tech sector, to go. Because a lot of these companies that are in that sector had some okay bounces, but not what you would like. But certainly have some high volume lows that need to be tested out here. In Altera's case, it's the $30.39 low that we see on October 4th. Almost 7 million shares. We saw a low here. $31.97 on the 4th on 5.6 million shares. Still lighter, but I really would like to see, especially since that volume wasn't very light on June the 4th, that we do get one more test of that low before I start looking at a lot more. If that breaks, you can go down to $30.39 for that October 4th low. But I think that we've got just a little bit of time. Probably into July 4th, I'm going to probably be bearish or thinking that it's going to have to at least consolidate for a while in these markets. Let's see what else we have. Maybe AMG, AMX, AMD, AOL, APC. For some reason, I think that was good. Another one that's kind of close to that is Anadarko Petroleum, APC. As we're watching these, they've gotten... actually, this one did. So maybe it was one I should have brought. But again, the volume was too high. Anadarko Petroleum, APC, looking at the October 4th low, $57.11, 7.3 million shares. We went below it. We've closed back above it, but we had 6.9 million shares. Again, a little lighter, but certainly one that makes me think that we're going to rapidly retest that $57.11 low here very shortly. And, it's just, we've got some bounces. The volume's kind of tepid. It's certainly not what it was the last 3 or 4 days down into Friday. So we'll, Friday and Monday. But I think we've got at least one more test of those before we start looking too much farther. Let's see if I have another one out here. American Gas Partners, APU. Another one that actually has made a little bit better signal, but still not in the lows that we particularly look for out here. And I always knew that one day I would actually forget to actually do that. Yeah, did it. Anyway, still needs to go down one more quarter for actually finding that low. But that $36.76 low needs to be tested out here. 440,000 shares. Again, very light volume, and you were just about a quarter above, so not probably 70% chance instead of an 80% chance that it goes back and tests that low out there. But I certainly want to be watching that to see another low volume test and hopefully break that 36.76 and make sure that we actually see that low out here. Let's see anything else out here. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. HomeAway, another company that looks like it's trying to find a low. This one's a little bit better in that it had a huge spike down on February 23rd with 4.6 million shares down to $21.23. It's gone below it, and of course, when you get a big spike like that and you come in with it with one-ninth the volume, as we did, what was that, 560,000 compared to 4.6 million shares. Pretty good indication you're going to have some decent support. This one's popped up. A nice little day trade if you want. But we've got a few of these stocks that are doing it. I would still love to see it get back in maybe just one more lower low if you could get it. May not, but look at this one again at $19.77. That's the low from December 27th. May not get that, but certainly about $20. We've been talking about Microsoft. I think on Monday we were talking about it probably being in a place where if the market turned, this thing would actually do fairly nice. We got that market turn. But this is not going to be the biggest mover of all times. What we haven't gotten, the same thing that I'm worried about all day today, is extremely light volume. Let's see if I've got one thing here I can check. I want to just validate that volume again. Yeah, I got two different services telling me the same thing. Almost 34 million shares today. We did gap down, and that gap down happened on about 56 million shares on the first. That is being filled, of course, with lighter volume. I suspect you're probably going to get one more test back in here, maybe a pullback over the next couple of days. And that pullback, if you could get into it nicely, might start a nice little base to start Microsoft at least back up there to test that $32.95. I suspect you have plenty of time, though, and it's not, even if you're bullish, probably not something we need to worry about too much out here. Acuity Brands, see if I have anything else here that pops up. BBT, I know that was one that was rather interesting. See if I can get some volume up on that. This one, actually, let me get this down to about 6 months. Actually, another one that made me think that we probably have a little bit more to go. BBT, of course, one of the banks out here, and actually one of the stronger banks, had a nice last big high up on April 30th, $32.74. Hit its low just a few days ago at $27.40. But that volume that low came on high volume, much in advance of the previous lows in that price range we saw before. $28.24 on March 6th, had 5.7 million shares. You blew through that on heavier volume, which means that you're probably, especially with the volume at those levels, probably means you have about an 80% chance you're going to get a significant retest of that 27.40 before we go much higher out here. So we continue to look at some of those. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. We can watch out about what we've got going on here. We have a little comment from the den here. The management at Tempur-Pedic will not be sleeping well tonight. No. I think that they will be worried about ticks and fleas in their bed. So we'll have to continue that. I wanted to go back over here just real quickly and check volume. Looks like we are going to close 3.5 billion shares right now, close to the highs of the day, though. But we'll continue watching this. See what else we have here. Go through some of these other stocks that have bounced. The Brinks Company, BCO, of course, Brinks in the financial sector also. One of the ones that I kind of liked. But even if we just look at the low of April 23rd, $21.54, 410,000 shares. They got the air conditioner back on and the sun's not on, so this room always is either boiling hot or freezing cold. Today it is freezing cold, and it's a little damp out, so actually I'm going to have a little sneeze fest here. But as we come back in, 410,000 shares on that April 23rd, got in below it with 250,000 shares. So it's done all the testing it needed to do. Actually broke out on high volume. It's come back. Probably came back a little bit farther than what you would like. But probably one of the better looking stocks. And actually not a bad trading range out here. If this thing could go out and test that high volume high at $26.73, maybe not a bad little trade setting up on those. We'll go through a couple other ones real quick here. See if I can't find something. A lot of these actually are interesting. B&G Foods is also interesting. It's actually got testing a previous high with a little higher volume out here. I want to see it just on a little lighter. Actually, not too bad. B&G Foods, BGS is the symbol out here. It's one of the few that really is breaking out when a lot of stocks have been clobbered. The December 22nd high is $24.64, 410,000 shares. Going to go through that with about, what are we going to get, about 620,000 shares already. So going to break above it. It's got a nice little gap here. Break above the previous high on what's going to be fairly decent volume out here. So we continue to watch this thing. It actually did fairly well. It went back and tested the last big high volume day out here was a huge candle day on the 31st, so Halloween in October. Popped up on huge volume, 1.8 million shares. It kind of came back in there on April 12th, about 470,000 shares, and actually one of the better looking ones out here. I don't know much about BG Foods, but BNG Foods, but very interesting. We've been watching BlackRock International Growth Fund in the newsletter. Another one that looks like it's kind of found at least maybe some bottom. It has gone lower than the previous low. It's done it on 50% of the volume, so not a bad setup. December 19th got to $6.81 on 1.2 million shares. Actually got and went below it on June 4th, down to $6.76 on 610,000 shares. These things are popping back up a little bit. Not a big deal. Again, we still have plenty of time. You can give me a ring, 877-927-6648. I'll be looking at a few more of these stocks before the end of the days, but not surprising these things have found a little bit of bounce out of them. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. You've heard Basil Chapman on the air hosting the Tiger Technicians Hour and always wondered what's behind his powerful Chapman wave. Well, Basil has just announced a 1-day online master trader course where he'll explain his Chapman wave methodology in detail so that you can learn how to chart Basil's one-of-a-kind formation techniques in real time while the market is open. Not only do you get a full-day online master trader course with Basil during live market hours, but by signing up now, you also get a free month of his newsletter, The Opening Call, a $128 value, along with access to his Moving Averages webinar, another $99 value. This online course takes place Friday, June 8th, and will be archived so you can view it as many times as you like for 30 days following the course. Make sure you take advantage of this one-of-a-kind Master Trader course with Basil Chapman during live market hours by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and reserving your spot today. It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we come back, we got a few stocks to look at. Still got plenty of time to give me a call at 877-927-6648. And we'll look at it. One of the ones I'd been watching was Salesforce. They actually had a fairly decent earnings announcement not too long ago, maybe a week or 10 days ago. Actually popped up fairly decently on it, even with a horrible market. Of course, they sold off. They throw all the good babies out with the bad babies with the bath and water when the markets head down. This one actually had a fairly nice takeoff. Took off with a sign of strength on the 24th of February with about 14.5 million shares. Got back in there on to 132.11 with 5 million shares. Even the last couple of days, tried to get back even farther down, fill that gap, and came in with about 3.5 million shares. It's popped up about, $8 or so here. and the 125, so $11, $12 off the lows already. CRM, of course, the big cloud, Salesforce, but customer relations management is what they're really into, and the same symbol that they use. But seeing a lot of these things bounce like that, probably not a big deal. Let's see, I had BMO. We're going to take a look and see what we have out here. BMO Financial Group's another one that looks like it's kind of put in a little low. Not actually even very, pretty good one actually. BMO is the symbol on it. We were waiting for it to come out and test this low on October 4th, $51.83, 1.8 million shares. That got into it 2 days ago with 800,000, so even less than 50% of the volume. Pretty common to see some of these things rocket on out. This one actually not too bad. Up, about $2 off of its low so far. Probably going to need a little bit of consolidation to finish this up. May even come back one more time into the $51 range, which I think we're probably going to get on some kind of decent pullback. And we can watch that one just a little bit more. BRE is the next one I wanted to look at. BRE. Another one, Bree Properties. This real estate market's actually held up fairly well. This one is another one that's come back and challenged its last high volume lows. April 10th, $48.08, 2.4 million shares. It got into that over the last couple of days. On June 5th, 1.8 million shares, $47.66. So did get below that low. It's closed back above that low. Volume, that's the problem. A lot of these, even Microsoft, we're seeing these light volumes, which makes me think we're going to get at least one more test of these lows out here. So we're going to have to continue watching on those. And let's see what else. I wanted to look at Intel. Intel I wanted to actually own out of here, but it still is trapped in this range. And one of the things I was looking at today on Intel, another one that's just even if you compare it to the 2 days that were down before this into this price range, kind of lighter. But you did have a fairly heavy day down on the 23rd with almost 62 million shares. You tested that again down on the lows on about 39 million shares on the 4th. So you did have kind of a lighter volume low out here. I would have liked to seen just a little bit more juice in these. Looks like it's probably going to try to make its way back into the high of the 29th, and that high comes in at 26.32, and you need 35 million shares to see this thing probably go much higher. We've got Steve Rhodes warming up in the bullpen. I see him; he's a righty there. Probably going to throw a few curveballs here for us tonight as he sits in for the Tom O'Brien show, and basically takes us through the wrap up. See you later.